America, in Europe, and in China. It is easy for me to have an event that the whole world can come to Gambia. I know their interests because this is what I've been doing all the time. When I make festivals in Europe, people will camp at the festival site for days. This is why I have in mind and say, hey, I want to bring the International Kora Festival to the Gambia. I want to bring the World Drumming Festival to the Gambia. I want to bring to the Gambia my African Music Festival in Holland, which was the only stage in Europe, the one and only stage in Europe for African music throughout the continent. When I do this in the months of between November and June, I can bring other visitors to the Gambia who are not necessarily tourists, but they are festival goers. They spend money. They like workshops. They want to be part of seminars, conferences, instrument making, learning culture. That's the kind of area Gambians should go into. But you just don't take one band. Take one famous group in the Gambia, send this group to New York and expect that he will generate maximum tourism for you. That's not possible. Or to sell $1 million or to make a star. They don't make a star from one artist. They make a star out of an industry.
Not a single artist?
No, cannot make a star. Because if he died in a motor accident, it's all over. I'm sorry to laugh. You need to line up a group like a soccer team and substitutes. When they set up an industry, you have to have 4 or 5 stars so that they can support.
So a clear succession pattern.
Yes, and also if one artist didn't make the success because of the particular product, the other artist can cover it up. You see, it's a kind of a chain reaction situation. That's why it's called an industry. There's nothing like called a star industry.
How do you feel? I understand that the origins of the Kora can be traced to the Gambia. But when international Kora festivals are being staged in foreign lands, in fact, ownership of the Kora itself as a traditional instrument is a matter of contention now. Others are claiming they own it.
We are losing it.
Where is the proof that we own it?
Oh, the proof is simple.
It's simple.
Yeah, it's simple because the first Kora, which was 15 strings, was called Soron, S-O-R-O-N. It was transformed from 15 to 21 by a Gambian, Jarimadi Wuleng Jobate, the great-great-grandfather of Tata Dinding and a relative of Jariba Kuyate. After Jalimadi Wuleng, you came down to the famous songs of the Kora, which were wrote by Wandifeng Jobate. You see my point? But the most exciting information came from the movie Roots. When the Gambian slaves took these instruments and how Gambia was spotted out, where this instrument came from, the white colonial masters had to say, hey, Gambia Bolongo, where that instrument core came from. This is how they traced the roots of Kunta Kinte. That was the leading note that led Alex Haley to come to Gambia to discover about Kunta Kinte. From one word, the origin of the instrument called core is the Kambi Bolongo. So this is intellectual and academic proof that it comes from here. Now, there can be many versions of the story. Now, can anybody say, I think the argument should be, does Kora come from Brikama or from Dankunku?
Or Sanimentering?
Yeah, even actually there are 3 specific locations in Gambia that the argument is being narrated and discussed. That is, either from Dankunku or from Boraba, where the king had his griots there, King Mansa Musa. Was not Mansa Musa, but Musa Moro. I'm sorry, Musa Moro. He had it next to Keserekunda. He had his griots at Boraba. Everybody in the village is a griot, from mother, father, sister, brother. But I think Bandora Birkama is the home of the Kora. Up to this day, the legacy of the Kora has been kept alive since Alaji Bai Conte and Malamin Jobate. Now you have Kausu Kuyate and Dembo Conte. These people have made waves throughout Europe. Even Gambians don't know that these people have recorded 2 successful albums and have recorded with BBC World Service, have performed in Walmart Festival with Peter Gabriel before Yusundur.
Probably the annual Kora show should be staged in the Gambia.
I am the one who's taking it single-handedly again, because when you know, that's why they say knowing too much is not good, because they end up leaving everything with you alone, or you go on begging. Sponsorship is a tradition. When you sponsor something, you associate yourself with that thing you sponsor. This is why when you make a keba, when you have a naming ceremony for your children, you do it because you are part of your family. In the days of the Renaissance, rich people are considered rich by the number of artists they sponsor. William Shakespeare was sponsored in that manner. Many great thinkers like Leonardo da Vinci, like Galileo, like Picasso, these artists of painters and artists and great thinkers have been sponsored by rich people, and their wealth was measured simply because of the number of artists they sponsor. Now, if I want to have an event like the International Kora Festival, which will bring jobs, the economy of Birkama is going to grow. The Birkama motels and restaurants are going to make money, taxi companies. So I'm generating and I'm creating an annual financial structure for Birkama that people will get rich. Because we're going to make the Kora, all the visitors in the festival, each of them is going to try to make his own Kora. So they have to buy the calabash from somebody. They have to buy all the... Birkama will be coached how to sell to foreigners. Now, if I want to do this alone, do you think that's fair that everybody's sitting for me to go to your office door, knock the door, you say, wait, our boss is praying. You sit there and wait for 2 hours, and you go in to tell him, I want to sponsor this program. And they say, oh, we sponsor everything. We even give 52 pair of football boots to the Nawetan. Our money is finished. You have to prioritize your sponsorship scheme. You have to have category A, national issues that need urgent attention, B, fun, and C, giveaways. But you don't spend your money on fun and giveaways. And when a Kora festival has to happen, or a traditional cultural group or the Gambia National Ballet needs sponsorship, or we need sponsorship to build a performing arts center, you say our money is finished because we have given all our money to the Nawetan football and we're giving all our money to some dubious issues. I think our responsibility, especially money-making companies in the Gambia, should start to build theater houses in the Gambia. You cannot take all the money of the Gambian people and then spend nothing except small key issues based on our needed survival issues. You want to sponsor survival issues. That's not sponsoring. Sponsoring is enhancement. When I want to do a Korite or when I want to do Christmas, you don't have to give me sponsorship on those events. I've been doing it before your company. But if you actually make money, you have to really be conscious and know what the country is lacking and it's an urgent need, an urgent service to the nation, create jobs, creates enlightenment, creates interdependency and friendship, is to build institutions.
The private sector has an important role to play.
They have to close their eyes and meditate and say, what must I do for Gambia?
You have a problem with the Gambian private sector, so to speak. Across the entire variables of the national economy itself, even the kind of investment they put their monies in.
Dubious.
Not any productive sectors of the economy for that matter.
No, I mean recording studios cost no money. Theater house like this GRTS, room, this is a perfect theater house. I mean, if you have this...
So it's also about the attitude of the people towards...
It is the people who have been choosing in those places. They either come from sons of imams or sons of bishops and people who have no experience. I don't know what dubious ways they get these jobs. But they are there. They have no outlet. They have no connections abroad. They are not recognized by any industry in the world. They stay in a small office and dictate an entire culture of a country in the wrong direction. People have lives, and their lives are fed by culture, by a standard of performances they give the outside world. And the world is listening, but they don't hear us.
Okay, we don't have much time on this interview, but just a flashback on the glory days of the Gambian music industry. You have some newspaper cutouts here.
Yes.
Yes, past newspaper, some of your own publications.
That's good.
60s?
Yeah,
70s,
I mean, it's between now.
You have some of the
yeah, I have the publications here. Actually, I do this for the Daily Observer, my dear friends and brothers, because in the Daily Observer, I have a column which is quite popular in the Gambia. And this is the story of the Grts keyboardist Senemi Taylor.
This is Senemi Taylor, the famous Senemi.
Absolutely magnificent musician, a good teacher of music.